dancing. Fun.
We want to hear what you have to say.
Well, good.
Dover, Delaware. Dover, Delaware.
Delaware, awesome.
Strasburg, Colorado.
That must be Sally Joe. I recognize your voice.
Yes, it is. It's Leanne from Beaufort, North Carolina.
Welcome. Joni Crow from Louisville, Kentucky. Hey, Joni. Hey, Aubrey.
Donna Fleetwood from Columbia, South Carolina.
Well, hello, Donna. I love hearing familiar names on the call. I have to warn you guys, I'm fighting a little bit of a cold today, so if I get a little, I start losing my voice, you know why. Not because I've partied too much this weekend. Although,
too many parties, huh?
A big party this weekend. Chocolate party, of course. Dottie and Lake Stevens.
Hi, Dottie. How are you? Good. I think I did it before, but I didn't take a note. This time I'm ready.
That's good. It's good. All right. So we're going to go ahead and get started here. If you need to mute yourself, if you're in a noisy environment or people ladies around, you can hit star 6 and that should mute you. And then you can always hit star 6 again if you need to unmute yourself. This is Aubrey Middleton, Sales Director in Brighton, Colorado. And I've been with Deb. I actually just celebrated my 3-year anniversary. So, yay. Pretty exciting. And what we're going to talk about today is really maximizing your party to get the most bang for your buck, so to speak, and really maximizing your bookings and recruiting at your tasting parties. Because if you think about it, where is your office? Your office is your party. And I will tell you guys, I really make it my goal to do about 90% of my business at my tasting parties. Because when I'm at home, I want to be doing other stuff. I want to be playing with my kids and, all that kind of stuff. So I really try and do about 90% of that business right then and there at my party. Okay? So I'm going to teach you guys how to do the same. So first of all, why the heck would anyone want a party this month? Anybody have any ideas?
Double free.
Double host credit. Absolutely. So awesome. Now, why would you as a chocolatier want to get out there and be partying this month? What's in it for you?
More parties, more money.
More money. Absolutely.
More Jamaica points.
Jamaica. Anybody on this call want to go to Jamaica with me? I'm going to assume that's a big yes. I mean, you guys are all on mute. All right, awesome. So lots of good stuff happening for your business, and you guys probably know that this is, September is really the start of our really crazy busy selling season. So, by really getting a good, strong party calendar going this month, you're setting yourself up for success for, the rest of the year, which then sets you into success for all of next year as well. So, really take advantage of those double host credits to book your calendar nice and solid this month so that you can really be in front of as many people as you can while everybody's in holiday shopping mode. Because you're going to make a lot of money this fall if you do that. So pretty exciting. So we're going to talk a little bit about a game that I like to play at my tasting parties, which I call the money game. And I'm going to tell you guys just a little quick thing about playing games at your parties. So this is sort of a stickler. My team has heard me say this a bazillion times, but don't play a game at your party unless it's going to help you book or recruit. So we don't play games just to play games. It has to serve a higher purpose. So really make sure that your time is pretty limited at your parties. You have time to sell, you have time to schedule parties, and you have time to recruit. You're also there to train. As you're bringing on new recruits, you're bringing them if you want party observation. This is definitely your opportunity to get your new recruits off to a great start by bringing them along for training as well. So, you have very limited time. Parties maybe an hour, hour and a half. So make the most of that time and don't do things that's going to take away time without giving you that benefit of selling, booking, or recruiting. Okay? So what I love about playing the money game is it really helps me to maximize the fun. It definitely adds a fun factor to the parties, but it also really helps me to book and recruit more parties from every party that I do. So why play this game? For one, it adds that fun factor, like I said. I one time forgot to bring my debt dollars with me to play this game, and my host was so bummed out that we didn't have the debt dollars to play our money game that she literally ran and grabbed her Monopoly game and started pulling Monopoly money out of the game so we could play. So our host gets to love it and have a lot of fun with it. She had so much fun at the last party that she really wanted her friends to experience the fun of that game as well. And so the more fun your guest has, the easier it is to book them and the easier it is to recruit them as well. Also, it helps to play on women's natural competitiveness to help you book and recruit more. Also, by going in for bookings publicly, which I'll show you how we do this, it really kind of shows your guests at your party how in demand your chocolate party is. Therefore, it makes recruiting even easier. Also, using this in conjunction with the Ask Me About My Business game really allows for you to practically conduct a cocoa chat at the end of every single party. So again, this is really going to help increase your recruiting. And last but not least, it's really simple. Having just one game go continuously throughout your party helps to keep things simple for you and also your new teammates that you're teaching to do a tasting party as well. So what do you need to play this game? One, $7. You can access these. I don't know if they're still in the back office. They were at a certain point, but I know they were posted in the DCB Chocolatier group in the files section. And many of you may have actually gotten these in your starter kit as well. I actually laminate mine into keep the Office Depot and laminate them while they were in sheets, and they'll actually even cut them for you as well. And so that way they stay nice from party to party. And I don't find myself continually reprinting dollars unless I use a whole bunch of them. So they're always nice. It's in my apron. So that, I literally just grab it and ready to go out the door. I carry a ton of them so that I'm prepared for those big parties. People always ask me how many, and I honestly couldn't tell you. But I do have, I keep my 500s in one pocket of my apron and my 100s in the other pocket, and it's pretty jam-packed, there's a ton in there. And it's just because I don't ever want to run out of debt dollars. I have a really big party or people that are just really crazy into it. I also do 2 prizes. There's neat prizes. I carry a mini fan sale that I fill with different prizes that my winners can pick from. And so the mini fan sale also gives me an opportunity to talk a little bit about our Jamaica trip. So you can put in there things like Vitalize, our new coffee samples, teas, chocolate-covered pretzels, and graham crackers, anything that's individually wrapped like that. I think it's an awesome giveaway. Also, you need to be prepared with a ready to have some fun attitude. Okay? So how to play. So your pre-show prep. You really want to get a good guest list from your host and then also set up a Facebook event. With Margo, you can actually pre-time post or whatever you like. So I hope you guys are all using Margo and getting the most bang for your buck there. I like to put in the event description a few ways that you can earn money at the tasting party. So this gets your guests excited to come, and also each of these items serves a purpose. So first, it gives them $100 for RSVPing right away. Because, if your host starts to see those RSVPs coming in, she gets pretty excited and is feeling pretty confident about her party. Next, I give them $100 for arriving on time. I like to do back-to-back parties on Saturdays, and so I want to make sure that I'm getting the most bang for my buck. And I want guests there on time so that we're not spending a lot of time sitting around waiting for guests to arrive, so that I can get in and get out and get on to my next party. So, bribing them for coming on time tends to help get everybody there at a certain time. I give them $100 for bringing their invitation. And the reason I do that is because I want them to take that beautiful postcard that they get from Margot, and I want them to put it up on their refrigerator with a magnet so that they don't forget about the party. So that's kind of help keep it in front of their mind. I also give $500 for anybody who brings a friend over the age of 18. I do put that in parentheses because I want to make sure that they're not trying to pass off their toddler as a wine guest at the party. So $500 for bringing a friend. And then $2,000 for booking a tasting party before we begin. And so the reason I put that on there is not because I necessarily expect that they're going to walk in the door and book a party, although sometimes they do. The reason I put it on there is because I want them to start thinking about booking that party before they ever get to that party. So just by reading that on their invitation, they start to think about it, and it plants that seed. And again, it makes it a little bit easier for you to book. Okay? And then the cool thing is that every now and again, somebody literally will walk in the door and say, I want to do a party. So that's always really exciting when that happens, because you're like, oh my gosh, I already have a party. We haven't even sampled the product yet, which is pretty awesome. So next I'm going to walk you guys through how to do this, sort of my flow at the party to kind of make this work. But does anybody have any questions so far on sort of the prep? No, we're all good. Kids are so quiet today. All right. So as guests are arriving at the tasting party, I always like to hand them a drink sample as they walk in the door. So this really helps to get product in their hands right away, and gets them excited. Nothing like walking in the door and saying, hey, would you like to try a chocolate martini? It also helps give you the opportunity to start building relationships with each guest. I actually really like to shake their hand and introduce myself. So I'll say, I'm Aubrey, I'm going to be your chocolatier tonight. Here's chocolate martini. How was your day? Start chit-chatting with your guests as they come in, because as you build those relationships, they're more likely to like you, and therefore, again, more likely to book with you. Okay? So ask questions like, how was your day? Or how do you know the host? You're going to start to learn things about your guests this way as well. That can help you really determine, oh my gosh, this person is going to make an awesome host, or this person would be amazing on my chocolate cake. Once everybody arrives, and again, they're generally on time as per the invite instructions. They usually start about 15 minutes after start time. So if our party starts at 7, I'm starting about 7:15. And then we start with introductions. So for my intros, I actually say, welcome everybody to Susie's chocolate party. We're going to go ahead and start off with introductions. I would love if you would each share with us your name and what your favorite thing about our host is today. And what this does is, gets obviously your intros out of the way, but it also makes your host feel amazing. So she's absolutely loving this experience right off the bat. So it's really honoring the host, because after all, without our host, we would not have a business, right? But then it also allows you to sort of drop that little sheet at the end. After everybody's done their intros, I'll usually say, oh my gosh, just so you guys know, anybody who is thinking about hosting their own chocolate party, I'm going to come over with your friends say nice things about you too. So just another, perk of hosting, and then, we kind of move on. But it kind of gets people laughing and gets them, again, thinking about booking right from the get-go. You're then going to jump in and do your power statement. So any of you who've taken WC Promote with Passion, you've probably gone through the training on doing your power statement. If not, I'm going to run down the power statement here really quickly. So it sounds something like this. Welcome to Sarah's Chocolate Party. Quick show of hands, how many of you have never been to a chocolate tasting with that chocolate discovery? And the reason I say that is because when you look around and most people have never been to a chocolate party, it really shows your guests how brand new TCD is in their area, and encourages booking and joining by showing that most people have never been. Great, you are in for a treat tonight. we're going to be experiencing chocolate in a whole new way tonight, including sampling our chocolate chipotle chicken tacos with Dove's exclusive gourmet line. About half of our party guests have so much fun with us, they decided to host their very own chocolate tasting as well. So be thinking about what day might work best for you. Also, we are hiring in the area, so if you or anyone you know is looking for some extra income, I invite you to watch what I do tonight, and if it looks fun and easy, we can always chat more after the party. So really quick and simple, but really start to plant those seeds with your guests of booking and joining, okay? Next, you're going to introduce your game. And so you can say something like, okay, so who here is competitive? And, everybody kind of starts raising their hand or they point at each other, right? Now, these are the free stuff. Of course, everybody raises their hand then. So tonight we're going to play a little game, and you're going to have an opportunity to earn Dove dollars throughout our tasting. The two guests who earn the most get to take home a free gift. Sound good? Oh, and by the way, I do taste for enthusiasm. So that being said, what did you think about those chocolate martinis? So the reason I do that is I actually really like to keep a positive spin on everything that's being sampled. So if you've ever been to a tasting or somebody was like, this really isn't my favorite thing, I can kind of help prevent that because everybody knows that they need to, ooh and ah and get pretty excited about the product. So, and the other thing that does is it does help your bookings as well. Because if everybody sees such awesome, positive reactions going on throughout your party, it's going to really show everybody that, oh my gosh, everybody is really into this. I bet my friends will be into this as well. Okay, so keep paying them for being overly enthusiastic. It definitely adds a nice touch to your party. As you move through your party, you're going to alternate between, tasting your samples in between your bookings or recruiting stage. So this really keeps everybody paying attention, so you don't feel like you're, teaching a class or, they don't get too bored if you talk too much. So you're going to really keep things moving and go back and forth between, here's a sample, and then you're going to talk a little bit about bookings, or here's a sample, and then talk a little bit about recruiting. I always start with my main demo, so whether we're doing chocolate chipotle tacos or making dips, whatever our sort of, main theme of the party is. And I enlist party guests to really help with preparing whatever our main demo is. For one, it makes your job look really easy because you're not even really doing anything, but it also, I think our guests love to really interact and get involved with the party as well. So, it's really just a matter of stirring, assembling, things like that, because you don't want anything too terribly complicated going on at your party. But, if we're making chocolate chipotle chicken tacos, for example, we're going to be in the kitchen, and I'm going to have one guest add the ingredients in the pan, and the other guest is going to stir. And meanwhile, I'm kind of talking about some of the products that are going into it. So, again, keeps it really fun and interactive with the party guests. And again, makes it easier to recruit. Once everybody has served their main dish, and as they're eating, this is when I really like to talk about different party themes. Because again, you can talk about a couple of different party themes. This is going to help you book more parties because people get really excited about different things that they might be able to sample at their party as well. I do recommend you keep it pretty simple, especially if you are a newer chocolatier. Maybe stick to dip and dip party, chocolate chipotle chicken tacos, or maybe a brunch, because those are all things that are relatively easy to do from what comes in your starter kit. Okay, so but having a couple different options tends to really up your bookings, because you can literally get the same group of girls together just a few weeks later and sample different products and share different ideas on how to use the product. Okay. After we talk about party themes, and by the way, when I'm talking about party themes too, I do pass around things that they can smell. So I like to pass around the seasoning blends and maybe talk about a dine around the world party. And then for the brunch party, I'll pass around a couple of teas and coffees for them to smell as well. I feel like anytime you can pass around something to sample that doesn't require you to, be handing out actual products, so it helps you sell by smell instead of by taste. You spend less money doing your demo than you would if you were to let everybody taste everything. If that makes sense. So that's a really good time to be doing that and teasing them up a little bit for wanting to try one of those different party themes where they get to actually taste some of those goodies as well. Okay. So next I jump in and I sample a ready to eat. After sampling the ready to eat, I do the book and join tool and I do the host side. So I'm really talking up the benefits of hosting a chocolate party. Okay, so have some fun with that. There is a video out there that on YouTube where you can watch how I do the book and join tool. So definitely take a look at that if you haven't seen that yet. Next, you're going to sample another ready to eat. Actually, I missed a step in there. After we do the book and join tool, the host side, this is where I go in for everything that was on their invitation. So we're really going to go in for the bookings at this point because we sort of built up to it. You know, we dropped a couple seeds here and there. We talked about the party themes, and we have showed all of the awesome benefits of hosting. So this is where I'm really like going in for the close. And we're sort of, you know, it's a mid part of our party. And so what I would say is, okay, guys, I'm going to give you a chance to earn more dollars. So I think let's do everything that was on your invitation. And so I literally walked through each one. Okay, who RSVP'd right away to this party? Raise your hand. And I walk around the room and each person who's got their hand up $100. Okay, you know, who arrived on time today? And I give them each $100. You know, who brought a friend today? Okay, here's $500 for you. Oh, and here's $500 for your friend as well. And then I get really dramatic. So this is where the fun part comes in. And so I'll say, okay, guys, I literally like pull $2,000 out of my apron. I hold it up in front of me, and I'll say, okay, guys, I have $2,000 here, and I look everybody in the eye, like I'm literally like looking around the room and watching everybody, and they're all sort of at the edge of their seat because they're like, okay, you know, everybody's kind of at an equal playing field at this point, usually with the $10 game. And so they really like the competition is on at this point. And so they're on the edges of their seat and say, okay, so I have $2,000 here. Pretty much guaranteed to put you in the lead at this point in the game for anybody who already knows they want to host their very own chocolate party. And then you flash a great big grin. So this is where your nod and smile comes in. And people will start raising their hand. And so you start handing out $2,000 to each person who raises their hand, and then you do a little happy dance inside your head because you're so excited. You just booked 3, maybe 4 parties right there in the spot, and you haven't even checked out anybody yet, right? That's pretty fun. And again, once you usually get that first one because women are competitive. Numbers 2 and 3 and 4 tend to jump in. It's pretty exciting. Now let's say it's like the rare occasion where you get crickets and everybody's just looking at you. I'd highly recommend that you pull out and live in the awkward silence for at least 30 seconds. And keep looking at everybody and keep smiling because sometimes somebody will be a little bit on the fence, and if nobody is really jumping, they'll be like, all right, I'll do it. You know, so usually if you just hold out, you know, for a little bit, somebody will jump in. You know, if you don't feel like you got the bookings you wanted to, you can then add, you know what, how about we do a citizen box for anybody who's maybe just thinking about it. And, you know, when you say that, those people that can't either stand the awkward silence or are a little bit on the fence with it right that second, will usually jump in, and that helps you kind of transition into that next part. But I will tell you that rarely happens. I've been playing this game in my business for years, and it's very rare that you have a party where nobody jumps in to book a party. So I highly recommend that you try it, and the more you do it, the better you get at it, and the more confident you get with it too, which I think helps as well. Okay, so again, and this is also helping your recruiting because everybody who's watching you and watching what you do, if they see you book all those parties right there publicly in the middle of that party, it lets them know how in demand that party is. So it's pretty awesome. Okay, so next you've got your bookings, you feel good, you're going to go in and sample another ready to eat. Okay,
I have a question.
Yeah.
the people who, other people who,
everybody who will.
oh, okay.
So have an equal opportunity with her.
So you do have a lot of dollars. Okay, I do.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
You're welcome. So after we try another ready tea, this is where we're going to jump in and really talk about joining my team. Okay, so I love to play the Ask Me About My Business game. It's a sweet game. And the reason that I like to do this towards the end of the party is because I want it to be the last thing they're thinking about as they fill out their customer care card with me. Okay, so what I would say is, okay, I want to give you guys one last chance to earn some dollars tonight. We can really see who's going to pull ahead and win our game. So as I mentioned in the beginning, we are always, looking for people to join our team. And as some of you may be interested in earning a little extra income, or maybe you just need a fun job on the side. So I'm going to go ahead and open up the floor for about a minute and a half or so, and you can ask me anything you want about my job, from how much I work, how much I make, what it takes to get started. Whoever goes first is going to get $500, and I've got $100 for every question after that. Okay? So what that does is I did a couple of things in my intro of that section, right? So one is I gave them some suggestions of questions they can ask. So you can ask me how much I make, you can ask me how much I work, you can ask me what it takes to get started, so that, if they're a little like, oh, I don't know what to ask, there's a couple ideas out on the table, right? And then the other thing is I write them for whoever asks the first question gets a little extra money. So that helps get the ball rolling and get stuff going. Because usually, again, once you get that first one, people start to kind of jump in and start asking questions. And I will tell you guys, they ask generally the same questions at every party. So, if you're maybe a little bit on the newer side, it makes you a little bit nervous, you can use, at this point, if you're not comfortable playing this particular game, you can use the join side of your book and join tool that's in place of this. But I do encourage you to become pretty familiar with our frequently asked questions at a party. So, they're going to ask the same things. They're going to ask you how much does it cost to start, what kind of training is available. They're going to ask you how much money do you make, and how often do you go out there and party. So, get really comfortable in those answers, because literally, it's amazing. I mean, it really truly is like conducting a couple chat for 10 to 12 people, and it kind of takes that pressure off you as well, because they're actually asking the questions. So you don't have to feel like, oh, I'm pushing the business on everybody. It's not that at all. It's part of the game. It's part of the fun. They're asking the questions, and you get your chance to get your info out there. So it is really awesome. And I will tell you guys, way back when I was really starting to grow my team, my sponsor actually told me challenged me to play this game at every single party, no matter what. And that is when I saw a huge boost in my recruiting at my parties, when I absolutely would not get playing this game. Because I used to chicken out every once in a while and be like, oh, I feel like this group isn't really going to be into the business. Also, I would kind of prejudge, the people that were in front of me. And when I quit doing that and made that decision to play this game at every single party, no matter what, is when that was a major game changer in my business. Okay? So I encourage you, if you're not already doing that, to start implementing that right away. Next, we're going to sample our last ready tea. And then I'm going to have my guests fill out a customer care card. So it's similar to a drawing slip. My customer care cards are posted in the file section of the BCB Chocolate Care page. And I literally, I hand them out, and then I walk them through each of the options. So there are 4 boxes on my customer care card. The first one says, yes, I would love to host a chocolate tasting and earn unloads of free product. How about during the month of blank? The second one says, I can't say for sure right now, but follow up with me in blank, and perhaps we can schedule one then. The third one says, if you promise not to stalk me, I'll admit I'm curious about this business and would like info to read. So what I love about this one is that it tends to stop people in their tracks a little bit. I can always tell when people get to that question, they read ahead, even though I'm walking them through it, because they all start giggling. So I'll always sort of joke with them, I'm a mom before I have time to But please feel free to check that box as well as you help your host tonight. Maybe take you out for a Starbucks to answer any questions that you may have. So I kind of lay it out there right then and there that I'm going to invite them to sit down and have a little chat with me. And then last but not least is, yes, I'd love to be notified of sales specials. So I let them know that, we've got these awesome flash sales we have from time to time. If you want to be notified of your favorite product goes on sale, go ahead and check that last box. And I'll be sure to keep you updated. Okay? Now, ladies, I do have an extra $500 here for anybody who is brave enough to check 3 out of 4 boxes tonight. So this gives them sort of their last chance to jump ahead in the game. And it is really funny how people will check, all the boxes just to get that extra $500. But it's awesome because it gives you that starting point when you sit down for your full service checkout to really be talking up, asking her to sit down and have a cocoa chat with you and booking that for you as well. Okay. And then let's see here. Next, you're going to want to enlist your host to help you figure out who your top 2 sub-dollar earners are while you start to kind of clean up and get ready to take orders. So your host always feels like, she needs to do something. So I feel like that's a good job for her. I'll usually just give her my prize bucket and say, all right, figure out who the top 2 are and you each get to pick a goodie out of here. Okay. Next, you're going to jump in and do your full service checkout. So again, if you've done some with passion, you've been through this training as well. So full service checkout is where you're offering all 3 opportunities to every single guest when they come. Now, I always like to have those customer care cards right in front of me when the guest is coming to check out with me. So she hands me her order form. I'm going to find her customer care card so I can take a look and see which boxes she has checked, because that's going to determine how I want to start that conversation. So if she's interested in the business and she's checked that box, I'm going to just go ahead and book her for the cocoa chat. So I would say something like, oh my gosh, Elaine, I see you're interested in some information about the business. I'd love to take you out for Starbucks to answer any questions you may have. Would a weekday or weeknight work better for you? I like this. I'm home during the week, and so I tend to like to schedule things over people's lunch hours, especially for a 30-minute cocoa chat, where I'll go meet them. But, obviously work within your own schedule and when that might work for you as well. So, but the point is to give them a couple of options and start narrowing that down and getting them in your calendar. Okay. And I think when you make it super casual and cool like that, people are more likely to say yes and just go for it. I then give them, the recruiting brochure and say, take this home, take a look at it, and then, jot down any questions you may have. And on the day we get together, we can talk about those as well. And I don't like to give them a ton of paperwork. I literally only give them that recruiting brochure because I don't want to overwhelm them, and I don't want them to have all the information that they feel like they can make that decision without me some of them. So I do tend to not give them a ton of stuff. I think just that teaser, that recruiting brochure is all they need, because that will encourage them to want to sit down and chat with you to get more information. Okay. Let's see here. Then you're going to go in for that booking. So those people that raised their hand and said, yes, I want to do a party, you're not going to ask them again to book. You're going to assume that they are because they said they were. And so I would say, oh my God, Susie, I'm so excited for a party with you. When did you want to do your party? A weeknight or a weekend? So again, you're starting to narrow that in and get that date set. If she didn't raise her hand, I would say, Elaine, what do you think about getting 2 friends together and hosting a chocolate party? And seeing, where you can take that from there. Because sometimes even if they don't jump up and say it during the game, sometimes you can still get them to book. And those that were a little bit on the fence would say, oh, I know you said you were kind of thinking about doing a party. What's your hesitation? And see what you can overcome as far as those hesitations there. And then, of course, you're going to look over her order and figure out, how close she is to maybe getting a free gift with purchase, see if there's any opportunities to upsell her maybe into a bundle if she's got a few items from a particular bundle. So that's a great opportunity for you to increase your sales as well. So that is your full service checkout. So with that being said, that is kind of a rundown of my party and how to play the Best Sellers game. I'd love to go ahead and open it up for any questions that you guys have or any takeaways that you took away from our training today.
Hey, Aubrey, this is Donna Fleetwood. I do have a couple questions.
Go for it.
One, are any of those parties Facebook parties, or do you not even mention that?
I do not have a Facebook party that my face. I realize you do. And the reason is I don't, but I'll be honest. I read much faster on my Facebook. I pretty much reserve my Facebook parties for out-of-staters. Now, if I'm doing a full service checkout and somebody seems like they might be a good candidate for a Facebook party, I would talk to them more privately about it, just because I feel like I sell so much more and recruit more and I book more if I can get in front of them with my product. Does that make sense?
Okay. And then the other thing is, have you made your martinis before you get there and bring them with you? Because if you get there 15 minutes ahead of time, it sounds like they make up the tacos for you, right?
So I don't do any pre-prep for my parties. We do everything at the party. I actually arrive about 30 minutes before the party starts. Mostly not because it takes me a ton of time to set up, but because I want to talk to my host about joining my team before her guests start to arrive. And but yeah, so I literally like make martinis when the first guest arrives because it only takes 2 minutes to whip them together. So I'm pouring my martini mix in, my host is providing the vodka and the cream, shake it up, and I start pouring my samples. So I make them the minute the first guest gets there. And then, yeah, we make whatever our main thing is, our tacos or whatever is actually part of our party demo.
Okay. And then the rest of everything you serve is already made.
I know, I'm super lazy. Who knew?
No, I mean,
it's all about keeping it simple, right? I don't like to do a lot of pre-prep.
I agree. So, okay, well, those were the questions I had. That's great. Thank you.
You're welcome. Another question.
I had a question about the prizes for the person who, I guess, 2 people who get the dollars, the most of them. So they only pick like graham crackers or Vitalize or like coffee, so it just seems like it's so small.
Yep, but they don't care.
Okay.
I don't even tell them what their prize is going to be. Like, they don't even care. It's limited question, and I tell them they're going to get something for free, and they get excited, right? And I will tell you, having that little basket of goodies, like, they dig through there, and they pick whatever their favorite is. They're usually pretty excited. So, yeah, I don't spend a lot of money on my prizes because that cuts into your bottom line, right? And so, yeah, keep it simple. They can also use those prizes, too. If somebody spends $100 or more, I'll usually let them pick out of my prize bucket, too. And they get excited. Believe it or not. All right, any other questions? All right. Anybody have a takeaway they want to share or something they plan to implement right away in their business?
I do, Aubrey.
Go ahead.
My takeaway that I've learned from you today is I'm going to say I'm earning the money for the hosting and you're going to earn the money for playing. It's a win-win situation for both. So thank you for your information today.
Absolutely.
The thing I learned the most, and I'm not even sure if you mentioned it this time, but you don't hand out the catalogs until you trade them for those customer care cards.
Yeah, thank you. It's so funny you said that. So I just thought about that earlier. I mentioned that, but yeah, I don't hand the catalogs until after they give me the customer care card because it's super distracting for people to sit and put through a catalog while I'm trying to talk to them. And we're having some fun and sampling different things. So yeah. And that also helps to get your customer care card back if they know they have to fill that out to turn it in and trade you for that catalog. All right. Any other takeaways today? All right. Well, thank you guys all for joining me today, and good luck at your up-and-coming tasting parties. And I can't wait to see you guys all in Jamaica. Have an awesome week.
Thank you very much. Have a wonderful